Hey, greetings everyone. This is Mike. I'm coming to you from Samurai Geek Designs, and this is a different kind of build. This is not for a customer, not for a client, but this we have a full line of 1/72nd scale Bandai model kits already built out at gravity damage, and as well as the 144 scale Millennium Falcon and the Slave One. The anyway, long story short, there was a bluefin representative out there who took a look at everything that we had built out there, including the perfect grade Millennium Falcon. Sorry, I blanked out. So they reached out. They sent a couple of messages, and here we are now. And we're gonna start doing some out of box reviews. This is my audition, so I hope this goes well. But thanks to Bandai for taking the chance. But this is my first out of box review, and this is the 1/12 scale plastic model kit of General Grievous, released for the first time back in 2017. And let me just say, I collect mostly Black Series Star Wars figures from Hasbro. This is my first venture into the figure realm as far as what Bandai has out there. So here we go. I don't know if I should do the review on the box. I think this has been out now for 2 years. I think a lot of you have seen the box. Most importantly, I think a lot of you guys are pretty familiar with what you get as far as quality with the other models that are out there. You can get Darth Vader, Captain Phasma, an assortment of clone troopers, an assortment of stormtroopers. The droids are available. C-3PO, the big tall black guy from Rogue One. Not that he was a big tall black dude, but the big K2SO. There you go. Is available in the catalog here. But we are gonna start off with General Grievous. So what you get inside of the box, and I'm gonna set that there. Sorry, you got to see backstage, and there go my glasses. Right here on top of the box, you always get 2 sets of decals or stickers with the Bandai kit. These are the water slide decals, and as you can see, they are just cut the shape already and ready to go. You just throw them in some water. But you also get a sheet of the dry rub stickers. I don't know what you call these. These are not decals, but you peel them off and you set them onto your model kit, and then you buff them in really well with a toothpick and a Q-tip, and they should go in really well. I don't use these per se because I don't think they sink into the model the way I want them to. But you're always given the option: water slide or these little dry rub decals. So this is a part of the base. You get one of these little connectors here in case you are going to build an entire series. You can always put them together. And this is gonna need some buffing, some sanding, and a little priming before this gets set in. But it's got a scratch on it, which is no big deal. I mean, but I paint these for the most part right out of the box. Of course, having said that, moving on to the outer armor for General Grievous. Everything, these are the forearm parts. I think those are part of his legs, his hips, his hands, and a few assorted other little pieces on this sprue. But I know I just said I paint my kits, but having done the reference checks on how General Grievous looks, there's kind of a translucency to his armor, so I'm gonna keep it this way. I'm not gonna prime it out. I'm not going to repaint it, but I'm going to weather and do whatever I have to on the plastic, and it should be fine. It should be translucent enough, and I should be able to get a really cool, realistic look out of that anyway. This is essentially just a copy of the sprue that I just showed you guys. His hands, his forearms, his leg pieces. You get his shoulder pieces here, and his what is this? His shoulder blade area? I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna be doing the full build on YouTube as well, so you'll be able to see what I do to get a figure finished my way, I guess. Not that anybody else's method is wrong, but anyway. These are the, this is the rubber sprue. These are the poly caps and connector pieces that need to have a little bit of give on them so that they don't snap off. They are hard rubbers, so these are more like the gaskets that you use to kind of add a little firmness in the arm and leg joints. But all right, more of the armor. Now the parts here that you get, this is going to have to be painted before you insert them. And even though these are going to be covered up by armor and green translucent plastic, having these parts in there, wow, certainly adds to the level of detail and the realism that you get with the figure overall in general. And I'm going to talk about that as opposed to what you get with the Black Series. I am not sure as to the level of the detail as far as the inner organs go, but you get this piece, the back piece, and then you get this clear part right here where everything goes inside. All of that goes encased behind the gunmetal armor and a few of these ivory pieces, but at least you know the detail is there. And speaking of the detail, this is where I think the Bandai kit kind of separates itself from the Black Series, and I don't think anybody else has put out a General Grievous figure. I think, well, I'm sorry, there's a Disney Elite version of this figure that came out. I'm not sure if there's a figure arts out there, but anyway, on the Black Series, because it's still a toy, because it needs to have a little bit of give, because that is the one unforgiving aspect of the Bandai kits, these parts get to be a little, I guess, the detail is a lot finer here, and the detail is a lot it's not soft rubber, so you can get down to this little fine tip here and on the opposite end without worrying about this breaking. Well, if you play with it too much, it's gonna break, but generally speaking, we're all adults here, right? So the detail on the face alone should be there he goes, should be enough to separate itself from the Black Series, from the Disney Diecast Elite series, and these parts as well, because it's all plastic. Generally speaking, I do not like that that plastic look left on my models, my figures, so everything gets repainted and resurfaced. But this here will all be redone again. Even though it's already molded in a gunmetal plastic, it's smooth. There's no swirling of the metallic plastic that's being mixed into the injection mold. So it's not bad at all. It's just not, doesn't have that impact that I want. So all of these parts will be repainted with. Ooh, what happened here? Sorry, I just noticed something here. This is a loose part. Yep. snapped on the backside. So I'm gonna have to reinforce this with a little bit of Tamiya extra thin glue before this gets applied, because this looks like it's been busted on the sprue, and it hasn't broken entirely yet, but it's close. So moving right along. Oh, you get the eyes right here. Let me see if I can get in there. You've got those real glassy looking, snake looking eyes that General Grievous has right there's a separate piece that push on through. More than likely I'm going to repaint those anyway, because I want that extra depth in there along the edges. But again, moving right along to this part, these are going to be repainted, repaired and repainted with some blackened pewter, and that's a little darker than gunmetal, and it's going to give it the metallic look that it really needs. It's going to add some weight. It's going to add some dimension to this. On top of this, I'm going to go ahead and put a black wash on it into all those little, to get into all those little nooks and crannies again, and then give it one light dry brushing of a light pewter color, so that it looks like it's been rubbed, it's been banged on stuff. You know, it's not going to be overpowering, but just enough to bring the highlights back out. So those are the arms and the eyeballs. These are the legs and this is the cradle that pretty much holds all of his organs. Again, resurfaced with blackened pewter, and then weathered out and dry brushed again with some light pewter, just to bring out the details, along with all of these parts. Most of those are joints, so I think those can actually stay raw plastic. But if there's anything exposed on these at all, these legs right here, these are the thigh joints right here that will more than likely, well, yeah, most definitely will be repainted, weathered out, and scuffed up with some lighter metals. So here we are. We're kind of coming to the end of the sprues, and what we've got here, this is the cape, part one of the cape, and the rest of the display case, along with those lightsabers that he needs to be holding. So these are the hilts. You get generic 1, you get generic 2, 3, and 4. All of them are screen accurate, it looks like, and you just have to repaint those to look spot on. But anyway, this coming up is these are more of the leg pieces and the foot joints. All of these will be repainted again. And last but not least, we have the cape. The cape actually clips onto there's a cowling that you get that hooks onto the back of his shoulders. So this is a felt piece that is red on one side and black on the other. I'm toying with the idea of actually making a stencil of that design that's on the back of his cape, and spraying the cowl and this part in a medium sea gray, so that it brings out, anyway, I'll get to that later. But you guys, this is going to be fun. I'm already running at almost 15 minutes now. This is our first out-of-box review for a Bandai series Star Wars 12 scale action figure. And these are action figures. When I'm done, General Grievous is going to be fully articulated. He's going to have the 4 arms. He's going to have the 2 arms. There's going to be a base that he can stand with. But first and foremost, the detail on this kit is through the roof, as pretty much everything that that Bandai has put out. The detail is phenomenal. The last Bandai kit we did here in studio was the perfect grade 1/72 scale Millennium Falcon, and that one is sitting over at Gravity Damage as well. The detail on it is top notch. The only thing you have to do is paint it, and it is very hard to make any of these models look bad. Even straight out of the box, they look fantastic. You don't have to be an expert to paint these, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is. So coming up soon, the first part of the General Grievous build for Bandai. This is General Grievous. This is excuse me, Samurai Geek Designs. Throughout all the stuttering, the stammering, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is going to be us scratching the bottom of that glass ceiling for the first time now, so we hope you like it. No secrets will be, I guess, I mean, we're going to be an open book here at Samurai Geek Designs. I'm going to show you how simple it is. I'm going to show you how easy these models can be put together. But till then, you guys have fun. Peace out and happy modeling. See you later.